needs to be happening.
Yeah. Because I want you guys to be faster and quicker when it comes to modifiers and knowing who's your target, how much weapons you're going to use, and
basically do your math before you open your mouse.
Yep. And for anyone who's not in a tank, so Frank, you don't have to worry about this, keep track of your heat. Because the next sessions, you are definitely going to have to keep track of those heats.
What's heat?
Yeah, exactly. Well, with that being said, I think that's actually all of... and I still want to... And before I show you guys any of the maps, I want to edit and do a couple of things. If you guys change your battle plan or whatever, and if you guys want to do anything specific to the base while you guys are doing these battles, that's the other thing.
Mm-hmm.
And also, the table's changing, so everything's going to be changed when you guys come back in next session. So not this session, but the next one. Table's going to be different.
Still in a snow biome, right?
Yes, you guys still are in a snow biome. So after the next 3 to 5 battles, I would say probably 3. Yeah, I'd say 3 to 5, depending on how much you guys stretch this. You guys will be done with this planet and heading off to the next one. So you guys are almost done with the space pirate bit.
Cool.
Okay, sweetheart. I want you to I love you. You have a wonderful time.
And then after you guys are done with this planet, you guys will be able to make any kind of purchases when it comes to a small selection of mechs. And tanks. Not only that. And then you guys will get a final profit number on how much you made for because you guys, when you guys finish this planet, you will finish your contract and you will get, I think, 2 million C-bills for each character to spend.
Great. I want to make it a Zord.
Well, and that's the other thing too. So if you guys want any recommendations for any tanks or any vehicles that you would want to buy, you will have to private message me those vehicles that you would like to see. It could be anywhere from light to assault mechs or tanks. And it can even also be aerospace fighters. So if you guys want that as well. And then I will give you the okay on what's available and what's not, because you guys are in a system that's not really close to a lot of things you can purchase. So if you guys want a Raven mech, that's not going to happen. You're nowhere near the Capellan Federation.
Who would want a Capellan piece of crap anyways?
Raven mechs are actually pretty good. I like them. Their legs are a little weak.
Yeah, but how could we trust the Capellans?
Can never trust the Capellans.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So therefore, you should already know what our answer is.
I guess, but you know what, man? You know what? I like them.
Yeah. Everybody say hi to the stream for episode 6.
Hello.
Hi.
Ugh. This is Battletech episode 6. Whoop whoop. This is going to be a lot more roleplay stuff, so have fun listening to our dumbasses talk for about an hour and a half.
I'd say an hour.
Like an hour?
Yeah, an hour. Because I need to figure out from you motherfuckers what you want to do for your next missions, which is fine. You know, that's why we're going to talk about that in roleplay today.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So let's just go ahead and start. So, do you want to do any introductions or anything, Ethan?
No, I think we can just jump right into this one since we don't have a whole lot of time.
Yeah, perfect. All right. So where the players left off last time, as you guys just finished bringing back the 2 salvageable mechs from your last mission, you were able to retreat from the outpost that you were protecting, realize what was coming, and you set up enough defenses and traps to hopefully hold them off, but They made a really good sensors roll. I think they rolled 11, not even including what they had, so they were easily able to determine everything else. And they rolled a perception check that was pretty high. I think they rolled a 12 as well. So saw through your shit, but that was pretty good. You guys blew up the bridge, which forces them to go around the mountains. Well, they have to go around the lake and then go around the mountains, because the path that you guys lead goes straight through the mountains. While around that, it takes a quite longer time. So right now,
You
guys
mean the
got back.
heavy mech doesn't want to trip in?
Yeah, the you know what? Maybe the heavy mech doesn't want to do that, you know. So the last time the players realized what they were being chased by. So the players were being chased by an assassin mech, a warhammer, a specialty pirate refit warhammer, a Jaeger mech, Shadowhawk, and a locust. There might be more forces, but that was all that they could saw from that point. The plus side is the players were able to bring back a Jenner and a Javelin back. The Javelin they couldn't really salvage, but they took all the missing parts from the Javelin, attached it to the Panther, and put the rest onto the Jenner and repaired their own mechs. And now the Javelin's practically scrapped. They do have a couple of internal and external armor plating parts, but it's only going to be enough to probably repair one limb if that comes down to it. So you guys came back with the Juggernaut as well. He was a part of your other prize. You guys got back. You were introduced to the NPCs of the base. Got to know them a little bit more. And while they're working on your mechs and your vehicles, you guys wanted to have a drinking match with the Juggernaut. You set up some kind of drinking party that Klein Johnson has no idea about. So that is where we left off.
It's on a need-to-know basis.
So, right now, it is currently 5:31 p.m. You guys are at the base. The sun is going down. It's definitely getting colder outside. What does the players want to do? You can get in touch with old informants. You can get in touch with more of the NPCs. If there's anything that you want to look up on Comstar's internet website, you could do some com book. It's practically the same as Facebook, but Comstar-wise.
I am going to go see I'm gonna go see the mess hall and get ready for the event tonight.
Okay. Ethan, as you enter the mess hall, you notice that some of the repair techs who are now up on standby, because unfortunately, since the mech bay doors are open wide and there's not too much ventilation going on through there, or I guess there's too much ventilation, it's a little too cold to work on some of the parts. So as you walk in, you see them setting up what seems to be a keg and setting up some of the tables. They immediately hear you come in and they immediately shoot their heads and eyes over to you, making sure that you weren't anyone that wasn't particularly supposed to be anyone.
You may return to your duties.
With that, they nod their head and they continue on.
Damn it.
And I go and get myself a cup of coffee.
All right. So you go ahead and get yourself a cup of coffee. You see a couple of people come in. Callan Frost, who is the aerospace captain, is bringing some of his own drinks as well.
I'm just giving him an eye like he's bad middle.
And the worst part is he looks at you, thumbs up, and smiles and continues on doing what he was doing.
Does he still have a bruised face from when I beat the crap out of him?
Yeah, it's still pretty bruised, but it does not bother him at all, because he knows tonight he is going to party like it is 2568.
Good God. He's just got such a punchable face.
He does. He has a punchable voice too, and he knows this and he loves it. All right. And with that, a couple repair.
He's a masochist.
What's that?
Oh, he's a masochist.
Yeah, he's a masochist. Yeah. The worst part is you see Drake Mikhail come in. He's getting some coffee with you, and he looks over to see. Clearly, he sees the keg. In his times of going through the academy, he has seen college students and students just drinking all the time. He looks over to you. This isn't your doing, is it?
Is he talking to me?
Yeah, he is talking to you. He's getting coffee with you.
Nope. But, it's not my problem either.
All right. He just laughs it off. He goes, Klein's going to laugh when he hears about this one. But he won't be hearing it from me. He takes his coffee and he just walks off.
Yep, I just take a long sip of very slurpy coffee and, me neither. And just walk away.
Okay. So at this point, what are the other players doing?
I mean, I think I'll probably just be coordinating with Kilroy, making sure everything's getting ready.
Okay. You could also, I know last session you got some odd information from your gambling app, Mech Warrior Heroes.
Yes, and that was the other thing.
Okay. Did you want to do your interaction with Kilroy first, or did you want to do some research on that?
I guess I'll do the research first, since we have time before that would probably start anyway.
Yeah. Okay. So, Robert, last session as well for clarification, when the player Robert has what seems to be a gotcha app that he has a gambling addiction to, a minor one. No one knows who has set it up or who's set up by. They were able to get a hint from it. So I want you to go ahead. I want you to make me a roll for me.
Okay, just roll.
Go ahead and we're gonna do 2 rolls here. I want you to do security, and then I want you to do computers.
All right, I'll do the security roll first.
Yep. Because that will determine
Okay.
how much you can even access before you actually do a computers roll.
That is, I got a 10.
Okay. 10 plus what?
No, that's a total 10.
Oh, total 10? Okay. So you are going to be at a penalty for this. The reason why is because this is unknown tech. You even had the speculation maybe it's Starleague tech, because you're mech Starleague. You know how the computer system slightly works, but the issue is you don't think it's somewhat close to Starleague tech, but not really.
Starleague adjacent.
Yeah, it's Starleague adjacent. So when you're making this roll, you feel like the 10 would have got you towards it, but because of it being somewhat unknown to you, you failed just a little bit, but you were able to access some security files, more of like 2 security files. So now I want you to make the
Okay.
computers roll for me so you can try to, I want you to go ahead
Okay.
and make me a computers roll and see how much you can access from these files.
Okay, I got a 13 when it came to computers.
Okay. What is your target number for computers?
Actually, what is the target numbers for those? Skills. Okay, give me a moment. I'm go to the PDF.
That's fine. Should be like page 114. I'll double check as well.
Yeah, I see it. Okay, I mean the target number is 8.
Okay, that's the important part. You actually get it on the dot. That's the
Okay.
important part. So when you feel as if he was having the same issues as before. When you were trying to access this file before, you failed and you were only able to get 1 or 2 files. But this time, you actually decrypted these 2 files pretty spot on. Just enough to where you're able to get some information from it. So the thing is, when you're reading these files, a lot of it is about mech data that you have procured or have noticed before, but then it talks about some variations and changing the technology of some of these mechs. A lot of this just goes over your head since you're not a normal technician, especially when it comes to this kind of technology. But in these files, it actually has repair techs talking amongst each others and what seems to be some kind of supervisor. So when you're when you're going through these files, you're reading the conversations between this, you notice some words that you don't recognize. Maybe it's some kind of code name. So when it comes to the technicians talking with each other, they're talking to a superior. The superior name you weren't able to get, but the thing is, when they're acknowledging something, what you would think is as affirmative or confirmation or yes sir, they're saying off, like AFF, the entire time. So it's like, did you get it? I want you to go ahead and put this laser into the mech, and they just say F, like off. It's a little weird. You don't know why on that one. That seems like maybe it's just coding that's not there. Maybe it's missing some words, but when you're going through the files, it seems like everything is all together. The other thing is you are hearing a conversation between them, and the other thing is you hear something called freebirth and freeborn. They don't get into clarification or description on what these two are, but you were able to get 3 words that you don't know. So AFF, freebirth, and freeborn. The one that you're able to confirm is AFF. Seems as it might seem as they're saying affirmative or confirmation or yes sir.
Okay.
But you don't know about the other 2 words. And then that's all you're able to grab from this file. Maybe in the future, and when you're done with these files, you get an immediate lockout. So maybe you can try this with better equipment later on, or maybe you can try this at a different time. But for right now, it doesn't seem you can get any more files from it.
All right, that's fine. Character's like, what a pain in the ass. Just wanted to spend my money in peace.
Giving your money to unknown sources?
Yeah, just give it to them. I don't want like weird ass ghost messages in the machine. Plenty of shit to worry about.
At this point, are you going to start heading towards Kilroy to set up for tonight? Okay. Let's head over to the next player, Frank. What are you doing at this time?
Sleeping.
All right. You just got done working on the tanks, and you're helping out the mechs. And as the repair techs are saying, "Hey, it's too cold out here, man. We're just gonna head in." You just get that confirmation as, you know what? I'm just gonna sleep it off.
I'm going to my tank. I'm not going to do anything stupid.
All right. Yeah, that sounds about right. You know what? How about this? So you're gonna sleep tonight. What are your tank crew doing tonight? What order have you given them?
To have fun.
Noir looks at you, and he gives you like the look of, "Are you sure, sir?"
Go hog wild. Have a blast.
So with that,
destroy some motherfucker. I don't care.
So with that, even though he's wearing a full black ski mask practically, you can feel him smile through the mask and 2 thumbs up. And Daisy right beside him goes, "Well, all right, sir. I guess we can go ahead and get some food and some beer. You sure you don't want to join us tonight? It's gonna be a blast from what I'm hearing."
Oh, Daisy, I know what's going to happen, and I want you to be there to beat the shit out of the Juggernaut. I have full confidence that you can.
Okay. Oh, this is going to be fun. All right. Well, with that, she takes the order, and those 2 are going to help out with the mess hall. All right. So, Mike, he is actually, I'm going to tell you what Mike's going to happen. I'm going to let this know for everyone else. So Mike doesn't actually join in with this. He's keeping an eye on the Juggernaut, but it seems as though the Juggernaut is just more preparing for tonight as well, and he's actually discussing things with Kilroy. He definitely wants to get out of that. So Mike's character, Jericho, is it Jericho?
Yep.
Yeah, Jericho. He's going to go ahead and he's going to get on his tablet, and he wants to check his emails. Even though he's known as a different alias, and he still gets emails from certain associates of his, he is going to go ahead and get some encrypted messages that are going to be vital to his backstory. And I'll leave it with that.
All right.
So now let's fast forward a little bit tonight. Tonight it is now 8:47 p.m. So things have been mostly set up. Robert, Richard Goodman, you said you want to talk things over with Kilroy. So you have a couple minutes before it seems like it's
Yeah.
going to start.
Hey, Kilroy. Finished up with those repairs?
Well, we finished as best as we could. The only problem is it's a little too cold out, and people were kind of expecting tonight. You know, I think most people are just afraid of dying with the space pirates coming back and all. So they wanted to have a night to relax. I agree with them.
Yeah, me too. Who knows what the next days will bring, but I'm confident we'll pull through. Now, have we acquired the booze and everything?
Aye, we've collected as much booze as we could. I stole a couple from Klein Johnson's storage, and I even brought my own. I think that was one of my part of my contract that they would have to let me bring a couple of kegs with me. I'll tell you, there was like almost 2 tons of alcohol in that drop ship. 2 tons! It's quite a bit.
Is that actually alcohol
Oh.
then?
Wait, what's that?
Was that actually alcohol then, or did you
Yeah,
tell like?
there was 2 tons on the drop ship of straight up only alcohol.
Oh my god! No wonder we were gonna die.
Oh. Oh, good thing Frost didn't totally botch it.
Yeah, I'm a little sketchy about that guy. I tried talking to him, but I think the guy might have a problem. He just keeps doing some weird sound of bing bong ding or something like that. I think he keeps mistaking himself for a doorbell.
I think he's a bit touched in the head, but you know, if he's gonna put money down, good enough for me.
You know, I keep talking to Dr. Cade saying he needs to check Calvin Frost's head out, but he's saying he's in perfect condition. I think that drop on when the dropship came to the planet, I think that kind of rocked his head a little bit. The marbles have been mixing about and all.
Am I nearby?
I think the damage was done
You're
beforehand.
nearby. As they are talking about this, you know, the funny thing is actually Calvin Frost is on the other side of this room. He can, if he really wanted to listen out, he could actually hear this conversation. But yeah, technically, anyone, if they just poke their ear out, can hear this conversation.
All right.
Kilroy is very loud.
I'm gonna walk over to them and I'm like, look, I spoke with him earlier. He's a fucking idiot. You should listen to his story though. He's a real fucking idiot. It will amaze you how stupid he is. Hey, Frost, get over here.
He is too busy setting up the kegs and everything. He is unfortunately he is not a very strength kind of guy. So as you say this, he almost trips and falls, but you know he catches himself. He looks at you very loudly. No shit, by the way. Takes a walkie that's on his shoulder, pulls it out, and as he does this, he presses a button. You hear something in the intercoms of the room come on, boom, beam, boom. Well, I am sorry about that. I cannot come over there as I almost fell and tripped. I will get back to you after I am done. And then
I'll take care of the kegs. You tell them the story about your thing. I'll go over there and take care of the kegs while he explains the story of why he's such a fucking idiot.
Boom, bing, bong.
It's like if I have to suffer, you all get to suffer.
Oh yeah, so to make this short, Calvin Frost fucking almost prances over, and he actually goes up to Kilroy and goes up to Richard Goodman, and he starts talking about this horrible story, very annoying story at this point. Like Kilroy almost like nods off, but thankfully, since Calvin Frost is a very loud person, gets his attention right away. It is his intelligence baffles you on how this guy it baffles you on how this guy even became a pilot in the first place. And you can clearly tell that Klein bought him just because he was on discount. But he just keeps repeating and talking about his life. At this point, you can interrupt or walk off, and it probably wouldn't even faze him. Or you can keep listening to his story. He might actually appreciate that.
If I have to do it, you have to do it too.
Kilroy just looks at you, Richard Goodman, and he just goes, well, and while Callan Frost is still being loud and talking, well, I think I'm gonna keep setting up some alcohol over here, and wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, Kilroy, go ahead and do that.
Do you continue to keep hearing Callan Frost's very annoying story?
Sure.
He does not stop. He even keeps what seems to be him making shit up. And he will probably not stop until the event starts beginning.
It just means you don't have to set anything up. You just have to listen to this dude's story.
Yeah, you just have to listen to this guy's story, you know?
Yep. I guess I'll take one for the team here.
All right.
If I had to do it, I'm gonna make you do it too.
Oh, Jesus Christ. All right. So, as everyone comes in, so at this point, the tank crew actually comes in as well. You see Bad Noodle, who's still carrying around the papers. At this point, he is still trying to sign off on everything. This was a lot of paperwork that was actually pointed out to each and every single one of you that you all straight up did not do, and you just gave it to Bad Noodle instead. So
Yep.
Sounds about right.
Bad Noodle is having to forge your signatures. Thankfully, he is good in administration and forgery, so you guys don't have to worry about that. But maybe next time you should ask him. So he is forging your signatures, and he even like every so often goes up to you guys. Hey, so in this paperwork during this event, during this time, did you do this or was this going on? And you guys are telling him that no, we didn't blow up all the buildings. We only blew up the one bridge. Yeah, we shot the fuel silo only once or twice. It didn't blow up though. Change that.
So he actually has a use.
Yeah, so he actually has a use. So not only is he proficient in being a tank crew member, but he is also proficient at
Forgery.
forgery, artwork, and administration.
He is not proficient at being a tank crew.
I mean, he does have a
zero.
Mechanical, well, so he has technician in mechanical and electrical. He has ground vehicle combat, so he can, if you throw him on a tank, he is somewhat competent in shooting a gun, but he also is a procrastinator and he likes to doodle.
He's an office worker.
He is an office worker that...
He's an office worker who went to the range once.
Yes, so he is an office worker. It seems... Have you ever had those guys in the military where they do mostly office work, but then a big giant event comes out and they say, hey, we need you in the war, so they train you up really quickly to be in that war as a, let's say, tank driver or anything? That's exactly what he is.
He's a conscript unit.
Yes. So he is proficient in being a tank driver, but he mostly did a lot of office work before he was a tank driver. So you can throw him on tank crew, and he can be competent, but he is not good on outside combat. So he's not good with small arms. Anything that involves just infantry combat, he can't be great in. So after that, everyone starts showing up for the drinking. Now, the thing is, this actually looked like a normal mess hall. But after a lot of setting up, you realize it's starting to turn into, like, maybe it's due to Juggernaut and his opinions on how it should have been set up. And the funny thing is, Frank, if your character, Mr. Rogers, was there, you would notice it immediately. But the rest of the characters have to, like, take a look around and figure it out. This looks like a Space Pirates mess hall. This looks like it's some kind of like drinking ring. There's an arm wrestling table in the middle. There is what seems to be some tables set up as in just a drinking competition. It is purposely set up to look like a Space Pirates hall.
Good.
All right. And with that, it is 9:00 exactly, and the event starts beginning. Juggernaut has already started drinking. He has already finished off 2 kegs by himself before the event was even established. So he announces that he wants to have an arm wrestling competition, and he challenges anyone No one raises their hand. No one does anything.
Fucking.
I step forward.
Oh my god.
All right.
Fucking Juggernaut is fucking Kana.
So I want to identify something as Juggernaut. So you step forward?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Sure.
So when you first step forward to the Juggernaut, you notice that it was like kind of a small podium that you walk up to, and then you finally see the arm wrestling table. The thing is, the Juggernaut had been in full combat outfit up until now. This is actually the first time you're seeing him with just only a white beater on and his combat pants. You notice he doesn't have arms, normal human arms. These look to be implants or mechanical arms. As you step up, he throws his arm down, and when he puts his elbow down, a retractable blade comes out of his arm, and he's like, "Oh, sorry about that." And he puts his retractable blade back in his arm. You kind of see some gears and pistons on his arms like move and like pop out for a moment. Some steam pops out and puts back in, but he slams his arm down, ready to compete with you.
He's like, whoa. First things first. I put down some C-bills.
How much you putting down?
I'll just put down like 30.
You're gonna put down 30? He doubles that, 60.
Yep.
Right.
All right. I'll match him.
I'll lean over. I'll lean over to Kilroy, and I say, "I've got 5 on big guy, and I've got 10 on our little man."
So okay. So Kilroy throws a fucking stool down, stands up as big as he can, and goes, "All righty, lads, we're gonna have an arm wrestling contest here. Now let's put down some bills, shall we?" And everyone just hollers up. And unfortunately, but you know what, Robert? I want you to.
It's like 8-1 or like 10-1.
Robert, do you want to do any kind of
1,000
effects? Do you want to motivate yourself? Do you want to make the crew vote for you? Like, what do you want to do in this?
Have we gotten any
What?
edge back, by the way?
You do have edge back. You got 1 edge from that, and you can buy up to your normal edge, and then you get 1 additional edge back. So you get 1 free edge, and then you can buy up to your normal edge amount.
Alrighty.
It's so for clarification, you spend 20 EXP on each edge, but you can't go past your normal amount before the first mech combat.
Yeah.
After that, it would be 100 EXP for each edge.
It's always 20.
Yeah. So it's always 20.
Or you can buy more of your maximum. You can buy an extra edge point that costs 100.
Yeah, maximum increase.
So for clarification, if you guys have 4 edge, but you wasted all your edge in the mecha counter, you get 1 free one, so you're at 1. Then you can spend up to your normal edge amount, which would have been 4, so you spend 20 for each edge point, and then if you want to buy more edge, it's 100 after whatever your normal amount was before the mech combat.
All right.
So you guys can
as
do
for
that.
them, I don't. Yeah, it's like as for the crowd, I don't care. They can spend their money however they please.
All right. Do you want to do any
give a
kind of leadership roles? You want to hype yourself up or anything?
I'll give him some words of encouragement.
Okay. Make me a leadership roll.
Okay. How do I want to do this? I'll just roll.
No
an
negative
actual dice.
modifiers. Oh, actually, have you been drinking?
No.
All right, Robert, how have you been drinking?
I've only had some because it just started.
Okay, so only some? Okay. I already have negative modifiers.
Because literally, like this thing just started.
Yeah. All right, roll your leadership.
Okay. That's a 4.
Total?
I rolled a 1 and a 2. I have a leadership of 1.
Okay. So as you're saying this, you know what? Fuck up on your speech for me. How would you fuck up you motivating people, Ethan?
Look, he's a big dude. He's probably got enough weight in that arm to crush your hand. He's also got a blade, so he's probably gonna stab you if you win. And you're a scrawny piece of shit, but yeah, just good luck.
I look at him and be like, this just started. How much have you had to drink?
All right. So due to his
Nothing, I'm gonna go get one.
roll, you are at a -1 for your modifier, Robert, for any skill checks.
God damn it.
Thanks.
I'm gonna go get alcohol.
So with this, Kilroy, he is going to start making bets. So he is making a pool right now. So whoever wins will get a portion of this pool. All right. So how this is going to work is there is going to be 3 rolls you will have to make.
Where's
1, 2, and
Daisy
3.
and Black at in this?
Wait, what's that?
Where's Daisy and Black Noir in this nonsense?
Your microphone sounds like it was messing up. What were you saying, Frank?
All right, can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, I can hear you better now.
All right. Where is Daisy and Black Noir in all this?
Oh, they are putting money down while drinking. The thing is, so the funny thing is though, like when you see Noir drink, he doesn't lift up his mask. He just pours the alcohol into his mask, and it's like seeping through his mask, where his mouth hole would be.
Oh no, I thoroughly know where Noir's from, so I'm okay with this. I know where the character design's from. Not an issue. Not one little issue.
So right now they are actually near the betting pool, and they're putting money down.
Yeah. I'm gonna go grab some alcohol since I fucked up so bad.
All right.
Okay.
So when it begins, what rolls do we need to be making?
All right, so you are going to be
Strength,
making,
body, willpower.
So you are going to be making strength. So if he, here's the thing: you will be making 3 rolls on each turn. They are going to be relying on your attributes. So it is going to be a dice roll plus your strength. Like, so let's say your strength is 4, you roll a dice. It's whatever that dice roll is plus your 4. You won't be going for a target number. You will be competing for each other's number. So the short version is,
and if what happens if your number is like 7 or higher? Do you also get an extra +1 or no?
okay. So that was the other.
Because that's usually only for skills. Is that just
that's
not
only
included?
for skills. You were just
Okay.
fighting against each other's.
So strength, pure numbers. Got it.
Yeah. So you can use your attributes any way. So you are actually relying off of your attributes. You are focusing on what you can do. So I will tell you the 3 that you will be able to do. So strength will be forcing your hand, trying to win the competition. Body is how long you can hold out for, and hopefully he doesn't break your arm. And then the final one will be willpower. And that will be relying off of your mental strain.
Okay.
You are allowed to make any rolls as you please. Think of it as rock, paper, scissors, but you don't know what the end result of rock, paper, scissors is.
Okay. All right. So what roll should we do first? Strength.
You choose. He is going to make a roll, and you are going to make a roll. You get to choose the attribute first.
All right. I guess I'll go with strength first.
Okay. You are competing against his strength. So he has a natural 8, but because of his mechanical arm, it gives him a +1 to any strength attribute checks. So he has a 9.
Okay. I'm a -1.
And you are at a -1 due to Ethan's leadership. He is at a -2 because of his drinking.
Okay, well, here we go. With my -1, I'm at a 16.
Okay, so 16. So he is at a 7 + 9. So that would actually put him at the 16, but he is at a -2. Damn, you rolled high. So you actually
You roll
at this
boxcars?
no, I rolled a 4 and a 3, and Robert rolled 2 5s.
I actually have strength 7.
Yeah, straight 7, so you're actually not too far from him.
Oh god, you're actually strong.
So you see, now maybe it's just the way this is going on, the looks of the mechanical arm, maybe it's just for show, but he just goes, "I'm the Juggernaut!" And he tries to push his arm down on yours, but you are just bucking back, and you're able to just take your arm and just start whittling over. You guys were actually in the middle, but due to this act, he is now what seems to be 2/3 on the way of hitting the table.
Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on! I will drop 30 more C-bills on Robert.
All right, yeah, no, bets start going up for Robert in increments of, it was going on to like singles and maybe some fives, and now some people have actually placed tens down on the table for him. Juggernaut looks at you and he goes, "That was a good shot, but I'm gonna tell you right now, no one beats the Juggernaut." And now he is actually going to go do a body check on you. So
All right, I'm gonna yell out to him. You got this!
So when he does this, you see his arm, like where his shoulder is like bulking up, muscles is just toning out, maybe some sweat dropping off. And when that happens, you just hear some gears and some mechanical pistons going off in his arms. And he is trying to put it back to the middle of the table again, and it is staying there. I want you to roll a body for me.
It's like, first time for everything, Juggernaut. Boxcars.
Boxcars? Holy shit!
+7.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Oh my god! Go ahead and roll me another d6. If you roll
Hell
boxcars,
yeah.
you have to roll another d6.
Hell yeah.
2.
So 2. Okay. So that is a 14 plus what?
7, so 21.
21. Holy shit! You almost did a miraculous feat. If only you rolled another 6. Yeah, no, he tries so, because he's at an 18. He's trying to put it back in the middle, but when he does that, his shoulder slips, and you take that opportune moment. You look at that, and you're like, "Yes, that's what it is," and you push your muscle. He is now 1/3 of the way to the end of the table. He is, if he fucks up one more time, you win.
Okay.
I'm dropping another. I'm dropping 120 on him now.
All right. Now you can decide how to try to hopefully finish him off. What check do you want to do?
I guess we may as well go for willpower.
Okay.
I look him dead in the eyes.
Yeah. you
Reiterate,
give him-
first time for everything.
you give him
What were
dead
the
eye,
odds walking into this?
Huh?
What were the odds walking into this?
Pretty highly. I mean, like, and Robert was at a disadvantage when it comes to attributes, but no, like,
Was it like 1 to something?
are you talking about for like the dice rolls?
Well, no, I mean like his odds for us winning bets.
I have that towards the end.
Alright.
Essentially, it just depends on how high So the higher you guys roll, the better the bets will be. So right now, the bets are actually incremented up to 20. So people are putting down their final bets, or what they think is the final bets. So now people are putting down 20 C-bills on this shit.
I dropped 120.
You're dropping 120? Kilroy immediately, arms up, before you guys do a will check. 120! Come on, put down the bets now! Let's do this! And you see some people just stop. They are not putting down 120, but you even see, who is it? You see Callan Frost look at you, and he goes, 120 on Juggernauts. Boom, beam, boom, and he drops it.
It's just like me and him are having like a face-off on the bets.
Daisy and Noir are right behind your back, Robert. They've put down money on you. They will put the maximum they can. They can only put 80, but they will not put any more than that. So everyone is towards the final ones. So your willpower is straight up you giving him a dead eye look and him giving you a dead eye look and seeing if that staring eye contest will be his downfall. Make me a roll.
Can I attempt to encourage him to get rid of the -1?
Wait, you cannot. He is, so all the minuses are gone. Juggernaut has sober up. Your -1 is now gone.
Okay.
You are now all basing off your single one, and actually Juggernaut is wasting a point of edge. He is +2ing his will.
All right.
He doesn't have goodwill. That's why.
Okay. I got a 12
So you got a 12 total? Okay.
total.
Oof.
All right. Let's see what he gets. Oh no! Oh shit! Oh, that one fucked me.
Did he get a
Rolled
2?
5.
Oh.
So I whiff a 5 plus 4 plus 2. He is at 11.
Oh, you just beat him.
You win by a single goddamn point. So Robert, how do you finish him off? What kind of dead eye look are you giving?
Damn straight.
And I'm Richard Goodman.
With that, maybe it was the way that the look, like he's never seen this look before. He's never seen anyone. Maybe it's just too much alcohol. Maybe it was the alcohol Kilroy served him. But you see him like twitch his eye. He blinks for a moment, and that is it. Maybe it was that single bit of sweat going down that metal prosthetic arm. But he slips, and you take that opportunity, and you just go wham! Slam his arm to the ground as it just goes silent, and the whole place. Kilroy immediately sticks up his arms. Everyone is cheering. You see him put up his metal arm, and he just has like the dirtiest look at you. His knuckle, where the spike came out of, just is pointing in your direction. Oi, you want to go again? Round 2?
Maybe another time. I want to go get some drinks. How about a drinking contest next? You promised me.
Holy shit. All right. Can you make me a leadership roll, Robert?
Sure. It's gonna be bad though.
Oh, that's fine.
I'm gonna say Jericho would step in and mediate a little bit to help him.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. Go ahead. Do you want to be the lead person? Because Juggernaut, he is not liking the outcome.
No, Jericho's gonna lead that one.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me leadership.
Who's gonna roll the leadership? You wanna roll it?
So I got an 8. I mean, I just got an 8.
What's your target number? Is it 8 or 9?
I don't know what
Leadership is
target number
8.
for leadership.
Oh, then you actually hit it on the spot.
And then you have Jericho who's leading it. So whatever his leadership plus 1.
If he's like helping me or something.
Yeah, are you helping him, or do you want to make a separate roll? Like, are you assisting him?
He can make a separate roll. I'm just saying what Mike would do, which is keep Juggernaut calm and get him more involved with the company.
Okay. Yeah, with that and an assist, you're able to talk Juggernaut down. Yeah, he breathes and sighs. You know, whatever. You think you beat the Juggernaut, but just remember, the Juggernauts. There is no battle that the Juggernaut will lose, and there is no war the Juggernaut will lose. You just won this little skirmish.
Yeah, Jericho's gonna say, "Damn right, that's why we hired you."
Since my character is really going to be MIA for this entire bit, because he believes that preparedness is
key.
Even though is key, and he's going to basically bank the edge points that he's keeping. Can I get off on this call, buddy? I've got things to do.
Yeah, that's fine, man. We were just gonna go after this part. We're just gonna talk about battle plans and more of what everyone wants to do in terms of, because you guys have 3 missions that you can do. You have to decide which one you want to do.
Okay. I hate to skip over that.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
We can just message you it later.
Yeah, please just message me later. I got things to do. No offense.
No, that's fine, man. That's
All
fine.
good, dude.
Okay.
Get done what you need to get done. Peace.
All right. So with that, the Juggernaut goes ahead and claims Robert as the winner. He grabs your hand, Robert, and lifts it up. You will get everyone will get a distribution of a C-bill count once Kilroy is done organizing it and not stealing any of it. I promise you he wouldn't. He's a gambling man. He's an honest gambling man, I promise you.
I'm keeping a close fucking eye on him.
Juggernaut asks if Juggernaut tries to make another competition, and he wants to either do drinking or another arm wrestling. Does anyone accept?
Anyone else want to do arm wrestling?
I'll
Look over the crowd.
I'll step up and be like, well, if I threw down money, I might as well throw in my body.
Oh, I like this.
Ooh.
And he immediately takes your arm and slams it down on the table with his fist and hand in hand, and your elbow slam on the table.
Ooh, aggressive.
All right, it will be the same rules. Strength to try to push down the opponent, body to try to keep your position, and will to try to make the opponent slip out.
And
So-
I will throw down 15 C-bills.
15, he fucking doubles it, like always.
All right.
All right, and he will allow you to make the first action. And Kilroy immediately starts the betting again. Not much people can attend this time because a lot of people wasted their money. But
Alright.
they start throwing down 1s and 5s, betting on you guys.
Okay, so
Robert,
it's just
do you
our
wanna do-
score, not our link.
So you are going to be doing off of your score plus dice roll.
Okay.
So Robert, is there any checks that you want to do to help Ethan?
I've never been good at giving speeches. I just do the noir thing, thumbs up.
All right, literally, Noir sees you do this. He walks beside you, looks at Ethan, does the same thing you're doing.
Can I have Jericho give me a speech?
Yeah. Jericho tries to give a speech. I will roll for him.
No, literally, I would give you a -1 for sure.
Okay. Jericho fails. He rolled a 1 and a 2.
Oh my god!
You have a 3 total. I shit you not, Robert. You can see that. All right. So he looks at you.
Isn't his leadership really high though?
Not high enough with that 3. I think isn't his leadership only like a 4?
It's like a 4 or 5, I think.
If it's a 5, then he hit it, but barely. But you will get no bonuses nor any penalties to this.
Okay.
Let me double check. But yeah, I could have sworn it was a
'Cause
4.
He sent you the sheet, right?
Yeah, he did. He did.
Okay.
I just had to double check to make sure.
Yeah,
Yeah, he would
5 would give him an 8,
Yeah, he
which is
would
what he
need that.
needs to
You-
not fuck up.
Leadership is a 4. He's off by 1.
Ah!
That's what I thought. Okay, yep. Leadership is a 4. He goes up to you and he goes,
Is that the old sheet or the new one?
that is the new one.
He's like, you know,
Oh.
Richard Goodman, like, he had some muscles to back it
Wait.
up.
Were they giving me a +1?
Since he is 7 out of 8 for target number.
Oh. So that's wrong then.
Because you said target number is 8, right?
Yeah, it's 8.
Yeah, looking at the table, leadership is 8.
Yeah, so he has a 4 in leadership. He rolled a 3, so that's a 7.
Okay. Are they giving him a +1? Are they helping with the thumbs up?
Nope, the thumbs up is literally just a natch. Unless, Robert, do you want to roll leadership to assist?
I'll go to the Juggernaut and give him a speech about how he can do well.
Oh, so you're gonna. Oh, okay.
So you're gonna. All right.
Yeah, because Juggernaut doesn't have his -2 anymore. Yeah, go ahead. So right now, you are at a 7 out of 8 for target number. You know what the funny thing is? He looks at you, gives you the same speech you gave Robert, and it walks away.
So after like a few drinks, go up to the Juggernaut, and I'm like, all right, because I already had like a few drinks.
Mhm.
Like, he's not me. Maybe he's possibly scary. I don't know. I don't know much about him. And I just sort of like just ramble on about some like boring shit.
All right, so you're using leadership for this. What's your
Yeah.
leadership? Are you trained in it?
No.
Okay, so you are at a -4. The funny
It's a
thing is, if he
3.
rolls a fucking natural 12, you actually help.
No, I failed. I got like a 3.
Oh, you only got a 3?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, shit. Oh, you raised that, yeah. Uh, yeah, no, you horribly fuck up. Yeah, he is at a -2 now. Like, he kind of like dozes off a bit, and he like loses concentration, and he's like, "All right, you're good with arms. You're good at beating me. No more talky. Less talky. Let Big Mouth order that do talky.
All right. So he goes back to the game. I
All right.
give the thumbs up back over.
So yeah,
The drink.
Juggernaut's now back at a -2, but you are also at a -1, Ethan. So
Yep.
you can use strength, body, or will.
I'm gonna start with strength.
All right, go ahead and make me some rolls.
I rolled a 10.
Total. Oh, what's your total number?
Total number would be a 9.
Be a 9.
Yeah.
Juggernaut rolled a 6. He has a 9, and then -2. He beats you on strength. So as you're trying to buck at him, maybe you were just trying to get an early head start, but you push your arm like, yes, I can get this. He's distracted by the speech. And then Juggernaut goes, no. No. He bored me with speech, but Arm has instinct. Let me show you instinct. He puts you down one level. You are two-thirds away from the table.
All right. I'm gonna try and use my will to fight back.
All right. He is at a 4. He will not burn any edge. He has 4 will. So maybe this is a better number for you.
Can't roll better though.
What's your number?
I rolled a 6. I have a 4 will as well, so that's only a 10 -1.
Did you roll negative? Did you roll Snake Eyes?
No, 3-3.
Good, because he rolled Snake Eyes. So how do you give him the Stink Eye?
Looking at him, I grip a little bit harder, even though I know he can't feel it. But I'm just gonna intensely burn into his eyes with just the cold stare of somebody who's seen years of war.
So as he's seeing like some Vietnam flashbacks through your pupils, it gives way to his arm because he knows he has to put his arm placement well, and unfortunately he didn't. So it seems like it might have been able to put him back at the middle. He fucked up so bad it actually puts him at 2/3 of the table left. So you actually have him by a level.
Okay, all right. I guess we're going on to body then.
Yep, so now you have to do a body check. Body or strength. You can't do the same attribute twice in a like over and over, but you can do like will, strength, will, stuff like that, you know?
Yeah. Let's move to body.
All right.
I rolled another 6. Before.
So 10 again.
So 10 again.
10 total? Oh, he almost beat you by his roll alone. He rolled a 9 alone. He is not pushing at all. Like he maybe now that will would have gotten him, but he keeps his arms pretty damn steady. You try to, oh, I could do it again, and he just goes, no. You good with the smarts, but not good with the brawn.
You're damn right about that.
So he does keep it at the same level as he's at, but now it's his turn. He is going to try to do a strength on you.
All right.
Jesus fucking Christ! He rolled a 4 plus a 9 negative.
But your base number is pretty good, so
Yeah,
still
but this might be bad. So Ethan,
Boxcars.
Roll me another d12. Oh, sorry. Yeah, d6. I meant.
That's a 5. I almost got another 6.
So what is your total number?
So 12 plus 5. 7, so that's 17 plus 3, so 20.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, no, you easily beat him. How do you finish him off?
I may not be very smart, but at least I can do this. And I just put full force, like I will like dislocate my shoulder to do this.
Okay. So with this final check, you hear the mechanical arm just slam metal on metal hitting the table. As some people are like, he actually did it! What is this? I put all my money on the check! What? And you just see some people freaking out. Like, there was barely any money on you. But that final check, man, whatever final bets were there, people made the smartest move.
And as I'm like hugging my shoulder, I reach out to Juggernaut, and with my dislocated arm, and I say, "Wanted to show you I have something in the tank."
All right, he goes over to you. He goes, "Little man, you think you're better than Juggernauts?
No, I just wanted to earn your respect.
And you earn that." So he just like opens his arms, which seems to be like T-posing, and immediately tries to give you like a bear hug.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
You take it? All right. Can you roll me a
Body check.
body check to make sure he doesn't break your spine?
Yeah.
Because he's doing a strength check. No intentional killing you, but intentional on
10.
You rolled a 10? Okay, let me see if you at least survive. Yep, you survive. You survive, but barely. If he got like more than 10 points in you, you'd be in serious danger.
I got really lucky and rolled a straight 10.
So you feel when he grips up on you, you feel like this would have been some damage. Like you get flashbacks of your Met Cop pick almost getting shot out 3 times. You felt like in the instant
More Vietnam
metal glass
flashbacks.
was around you. You had the relapse of that. But then you clenched up. You realize you have somewhat of a toned body, and you're able to take it. And he does the same thing what he did with Robert. Puts your arm up and say, "And we have a winner."
Oh my god! I can't believe I rolled boxcars.
Yeah, that was funny. That was real fucking great.
Ugh.
Don't worry, get the boxcars out now. So with this, he finishes his arm wrestling. He goes back to drinking, unless Mike wants to arm wrestle him. He actually challenges Mike. Do you want Mike to accept the challenge?
I mean,
Michael
he
say
should do it.
Michael say to him probably is I'm not great in the physical, but I definitely know I can fight you in the alcohol.
Okay, all right. So with that, they will fuck off to another table and they will start drinking. At this final moment,
How much did we make so far?
so right now, being split between the rest, because anyone who betted on still gets a portion. So at the end of this betting, if there is no more going on, you and Robert make a total of 436 C-bills.
Each
Yes,
or just split?
each. Okay. Because there was more than a couple of hundreds that were thrown down there. You probably make someone bankrupt by doing this. Thank God they're working for the mercenary company.
So I made a total of 426 because I bet 10 against you in the first match.
It's okay.
Hey,
Right.
I made a lot of money.
So with that, it goes to just normal drinking throughout the night. There's some betting wages against alcohol, but nothing too crazy. The thing is, at a certain point, you guys actually notice there's 2 characters that haven't actually showed up yet. So you've seen Drake like sitting out towards like the end of the wall watching this whole thing, not saying a single word, but the 2 people you haven't actually seen has been Klein Johnson and Xavier Kays, who is your benefactor, and and Xavier, who's your legal advisor. They have not showed up for this at all.
Yeah.
I don't think we would have mentioned it, so
Does anyone want to try to find them, or are you guys too busy with the normal fistus?
Is the doctor here?
Oh yeah, the doctor is here. He is making sure not to drink too much.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
go over to him and be like, "Can you put my shoulder back in place?"
Oh yeah, look, he immediately does it. So when he goes ahead and he is actually going to dice.
Because I have like a -4 to do that.
Yeah. So he roll. Oh shit. So he rolls. As he do this, I actually have to roll another d6 because he rolled boxcars.
Woo, woo. I love this fucking doctor.
I think it's the second time.
This
he's
is
ever
the
done
second
fucking
time
roll.
he's done a doctor on me, and he's rolled boxcars both times.
God damn it! He rolled a 5 as well. All right, so he is just normally talking to you, not even looking at your shoulder, just moving some fingers around. Like you feel like you, even though you feel your arm dislocate, you feel like the pressure a little bit, and then it just go as he's just normally talking. He's like, "Ah, I didn't think you would beat the Juggernaut. To be honest, I didn't really bet too much, but I was rooting for you. I had some promise on you." And then he just immediately like you hear a crack and your shoulders back, and it's like he wasn't even looking.
Oh, thank you. That. Oh, that's so much better.
Be honest, I think this is the second time I've worked on you, and I've done a pretty damn good job. Maybe I will get my license back someday.
Yeah, like seriously. But anyways, yeah, I really didn't expect to win at all. I think they're gonna do something interesting in the next round of competition here.
Yeah. It's nice to get all these events out of the way for the mercenary company. You know, just in case we die by the space pirates, of course.
I don't think that'll happen, but you know, everybody enjoys a good time.
I agree with that. Get all the fun out of the way so people understand the dread in the future. But that's my opinion, I suppose.
Alright. I'll head back. And I'll head back to the drinking table.
All right. Robert, is there anyone you want to talk to or get to know or anything like that? Do you want to build a bond with Kilroy or Juggernaut or anyone else? Robert?
I mean, I guess I could go drink with Juggernaut.
Okay.
Shoot the shit.
Do you want to have any kind of conversations with him?
Sure. I guess I'll like ask about his
Small talking.
prosthetic augments or whatever.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's pretty interesting.
Yeah, as you come over, you offer him a drink. You know, he shares one with you. You guys been sharing same kind of alcohol, but you know the gesture is always nice. You mentioned his arm, and he looks at you. Oh yes. He puts his arm down on the table as he like presses a few dials as like a couple of plates come out that have some hinges or have some pistons coming up. As you see, like a lot of mechanical work. He's like, you know, I don't understand any of this. That's all. Usually Dex helped me out with a lot of this. He was smart when it came to this. We got someone from close to the outer space or something like that to make this for me. But to be honest with you, it's a handy little thing. I miss my regular arms. These are a little janky sometimes. If I had my normal arms, I would have not lost against you.
Of course. Well, there's always till next time.
You're a mech pilot, aren't you?
Yeah, it wasn't at first, but that's just how things turned out.
Do you know how I lost my arms?
Oh no.
Did you know hatchet men? Depending on which one you get, some of them don't have a good ejection seat.
I do hear stories of that. Solaris?
Well, before I was a space pirate, the Juggernaut, as he says, but then it kind of tones down because he realizes his name is no longer famous. I used to be a Solaris fighter, gladiator of all things. They say I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed, but and then as he says that, he pulls his retractable blade out of his arm. But I beg to differ, and it shoots back in.
That's kind of cute.
I got this in the Solaris Arena. I was fighting a griffin, son of a bitch had a fucking spotlight, out of all things. I think it was a newer model. I ran at him, he had an ERPPC in an open area. Oh, he got me pretty good each time. But I was just in reach of him. You wanna know what the son of a bitch did? The second I came in close, I swung that hatchet right towards his cockpit. You wanna know what happened? All I saw was a shining bright light and an ERPPC hitting my cockpit at the same time. He got me with a spotlight of all things. Can you believe that? I call it cowardice, but I suppose others beg to differ. But because of that, as he was walking away, I was trying again, but maybe it was just that one single moment. I tried ejecting due to the damage, and I couldn't. I had to pry myself out of my mech. The only downside is when he hit me with that PPC shot, I guess you would call roll cage that I had set up in my hatchet man kept my arms locked in place due to the PPC melting it. It was either I exploded or I ripped my own arms out of off my own body to escape. I'll tell you right now, I don't know what happened after that, but I woke up armless. I think in sheer rage, I knew what happened with the shearing metal forcing upon my arms. I think it actually helped, to be honest, but I'll tell you right now, it hurt like hell.
I'm sure that's the case, Juggernaut.
Oh, you're listening! Didn't
Oh,
think you were here. You're kind of a quiet fella.
Well, I didn't want to interrupt you. It's an interesting story.
You know, you all are mech pilots, but I don't think you fully understand what it costs you at the end of the day.
Oh, Juggernaut, I don't think you understand how long I've been fighting.
Oh, you want to tell me?
About a decade now?
Decade? You look like a wee little lad. You probably look like what, 21, 23? You've been fighting since you were 12? Got the battle scars to prove it, I'm guessing.
Yes. When you are put in the position of being a mercenary at a young age, you are forced to commit combats that you would otherwise not like to be in. Especially when you have to work for Capellans.
See, that's where you went wrong. You went and worked for the Capellans.
Not by choice.
Is it always by choice, though?
I guess you're right.
Oh. And what about you, Richard, I think? You got any war stories to match with ours? You already know I was a Solaris Arena guy, and then I worked with the Space Pirates. The only reason why I'm working for them, or was they offered me these sweet-ass arms. I think they pulled it off another Space Pirate. Has the old smell to it, but I don't complain.
Well,
What about you,
I used
Richard?
to be a proper soldier once upon a time. Eventually, I caught somebody's eye and got initiated into a special program. Did all sorts of missions, sort of off the books. I was trained mainly to be their guy to go into places and make things go boom.
Special forces, then.
That's correct. We
I don't
went
know
into
much
all
about that, but
sorts
keep
of-
going.
We went into all sorts of nasty situations. Okay. Usually always outnumbered, outgunned. We did have all the fancy stuff, far better than what we have now, but don't get me wrong. Okay. You might still have good equipment, but some scumbag with an assault rifle still could get you.
As he looks
But
over
eventually,
to Ethan's character, you could say that again as he like kind of pushes up on your hand that got shot.
Believe me, I know. It's not the first time, and it probably won't be the last.
but eventually, governments don't really like cleaning up their messes very well, and eventually one mission was a bit too much. Lost a lot of good men then. And well, when you're with the Special Forces, you don't really have a very good exit. Once they're done with you, they're done with you.
So what'd you do to fuck it up? We all got secrets here.
Well, it wasn't that we fucked it up. The mission was a success. It's just the cost of success was too high.
Nasty outcome. But I
You
have
were
a question for you, Richard Goodman. You did this mission, whatever military you worked for. So the outcome must have been super terrible, because you're here on this fucking asteroid with me. Was it really worth that?
Terrible. Perhaps I did survive. Most of my compatriots didn't. It could have been worse, sure. But you never know. It might come back to catch me one day.
So what they're saying is that this outcome isn't over yet.
Well, in terms of the higher ups, it is. It's just anyone who's holding any grudges. Well,
They still have their grudges.
yeah.
I see. So you know what? I have a question then. You all know that I used to be Solaris or Gladiator, and now I'm here as the Juggernaut. What's my outcome? You haven't offered me a mech yet. You haven't put me in any kind of position. I've just been walking around drinking and fighting.
Let me ask you this, Juggernaut. What do you want your outcome to be?
Well, I've already lost 2 limbs for being a mech pilot. Why not lose more?
Is that what you want?
Boy, I am from Space Pirate. I used to be Solaris and Space Pirates. All I want is fighting, killing. You think I want any more in my life? I would have chose a different path, and I wouldn't be here.
Well, let me tell you this, Juggernaut. Your abilities as a ground force combatant would be best optimized as a special forces unit. A commander of that unit, too. In your particular talents. Mech piloting could be a secondary to that as part of your mission operational schedule. The reason why we suggest this, and this will not be a final outcome, this is me simply stating some obvious outlooks to the particular situation. We understand it as an idea that you're best suited for operations where you can use your strength and your ability to harness that wild inner spirit of yours. We wouldn't want to put you in a position where you're stuck all day in a hot sweatsuit doing nothing.
Can you roll me a negotiations or leadership roll for that?
I can do leadership.
Do leadership.
That is an 8.
Total?
8 total, yeah.
Okay. You don't get any kind of negative feedback from him, but you don't get any kind of positive feedback. He is going to indicate that, well, I'll just roleplay it. Look, Last time I checked, Mr. Talkie Pants over there offered me a mech, and I think that was my condition. Now, if you want to put me on special forces, that's fine, but I see more combat in mechs than I do in infantry, especially at this time and age. You can put me in a special forces. I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty sharp for that. But what I lack for muscle, what I have in muscles, I lack in elsewhere. As he points to his head and kind of hits it quite a bit, probably even doing some more brain damage. So your call. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna let you know on this right now. I like me mechs. I like the combat of it. Feels nice. And last time I checked, you have a free seat in one of those mechs over there that no one can pilot but mech pilots.
And that is correct. And the agreement still stands for sure. That hasn't changed by any means. But whether it's your primary or secondary role is really what the question becomes. But that also has to do with the way we structure the unit and other things like that. But that's logistics above my head. As I take another deep swig.
All right.
Yeah.
So with that, he kind of goes back to like small talk. Is there anything else that anyone wants to do in talking wise? Does anyone want to try to find any NPCs and go out their way and talk with?
Think I'm good.
I mean, I'll just check up on. I guess I'll check up on Kilroy, but that's about it.
Oh yeah. All right. So you actually meet up with Kilroy. He was finishing up with the bets, passing out the money. So at this time, this is when he starts handing you the cash. He he transfers it to your guys' accounts.
Mhm.
He sees you coming over. Oi, there he is. To be honest with you, I was rooting for you. I don't know much about the Juggernauts guy, but you can tell I was rooting for you because and he like goes back and shows you like the digital documents of who bet it what. He's like, see, there you go. Can't show you the rest though, private information.
That's fine as long as I got my money. If anything, I was surprised by the next victor after. So how you doing?
Well, I'm doing just fine, getting my addictions and handled. Drinking when I want to, not trying not to piss anyone off, understanding everyone here. We got a odd little posse don't get me wrong, I'm a little bit of a mixed bag as well, but that aerospace pilot guy, I have some issues with him. What was it? Calvin Frost, was it? Sounds like a bunch of a cow and snowball, if you ask me.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it was a bit odd, but we unfortunately will have to make do.
He's our pilot, but didn't we hire another pilot as well? That who was it again? Norda Hazen, I think.
Yeah, I believe he has some pilot capabilities. Don't know how good he is. Never saw it for myself.
As long as he doesn't damage my mech again. Well, he didn't, but the other guy did.
Well, at least the alcohol is intact.
Yeah, I was actually surprised about that. If he came down on us with that 2 tons of alcohol, we'd be in a do you know a Union class dropship is actually a big giant ball? We would have turned into a ball of fire at that point.
High proof stuff, huh?
Oh yeah, super high proof. Like a lot of this, believe it or not, is very illegal. Like when I finished my military contract at, well, don't worry about that. But when I finished my military contract for a different place, I was able to spend all my money in alcohol. Enough to drown a man's sorrows for the rest of his life until his kidneys would give out.
And then he got a new lover.
Yeah.
Who did you work for before?
Aye. Now we're gonna talk about stories. I kind of would like to hear yours as well.
Well, I mean, because I've already told the story once. I was special forces for the Federated Commonwealth.
Ah,
And, where things would go tits up, and the politicians would send me in.
well, I did a lot of freelance work at a certain point, but I did a little bit of work for the Federated Commonwealth. I think my problem was when I took, well, in short, I picked up a contract for what seems to be a minor power, and we had to face some Draconis Combine. He kind of like looks down and looks at his hands and looks out one of the windows. As you can see, he's pointing towards a mech bay. I took a prize from them, but they also took a prize from me. To be honest with you, I still wish I could get payback with them, but what's done is done, I suppose. That's why I got the alcohol to drown the sorrows, and for the sorrows to drown the alcohol.
Do you think the Combine will ever come after you?
Oh, like they ever see me fucking piloting that thing? Yeah, they'd shoot me down in an instant. Actually, I have a question. Does anyone have any streetwise or protocol for Draconis Combine?
No.
Nope. My protocol is Comstar.
Okay, so never mind. All right, so he talks about his panther a little bit, and he was like, "Yeah, I bet you saw the panther. Wasn't a normal camo. Had some weird symbols on it, gold engravings, pure black, right?"
Could I use interest mech to be able to
Yeah.
identify it?
At like a higher roll?
Yes. At a higher roll, you could either use technician mechanical, or you could use interest mech. Or if you even have appraisal. Even if you have appraisal, you can do it. But you'll be at a higher roll.
I have appraisal and I have technician.
Okay. Yeah. If any of you guys have any of that, you can make a roll for me right now.
Okay.
I'll do it, but I have no faith.
Yeah, go ahead. We'll have two different inputs depending on. Oh, you rolled 8s. That's not bad. So 8s.
Well, this is technician mechanical, so I guess like +1.
13.
So nice.
I got a 13.
So, Robert, do you have appraisal or interest mech or anything?
Nothing else.
Okay.
I just went with the mechanical.
Yeah,
Alright,
same here.
That's fine. We can do that. So we'll go for Robert's first, and then I'll tell you the additional information. But Robert won't know this information unless you guys talk about it, or until Kilroy mentions it. So the thing is, you guys have seen his mech before, and you notice that you don't get fancy designs like that on a mech unless you're either a Solaris Arena gladiator, or if you are one of the major houses. And when I mean by major houses, I mean you have a title that if anyone recognized your face, they would immediately bow to you. It seems as though the mech that he has, it's not what a normal civilian would know. And that's all the information you would know, Robert. And here's the additional information that you know. You know that the mech that you've seen before, at first, when you first saw it, you thought that there was a Draconis Combine diplomat here, or maybe it was a family member of one of the greater houses for the Draconis Combine. But when you kept looking around, you didn't see anyone. And after knowing that Kilroy has this, you're under the impression that he either bought it, he won it in a duel, or he killed someone for it.
So, Kilroy.
Oi, what is it? Yeah, you're sneaking up on me. Jesus Christ. Just fucking step on a twig or something, notify someone. Fucking Christ.
I've been standing here the whole time. Okay. I guess people just don't know I'm here.
Next morning, there's going to be a couple more paperwork complaints against Narda for creeping.
Yeah,
It's like during the party, he was just a total creep.
Yeah, you got one against Juggernaut, one against Kilroy. Jesus Christ.
God, even Juggernaut filed against me.
Oh, yeah, he filed against you due to physical abuse.
Lying about your strength.
Yeah. Oh, fucking Christ. Yeah. So, what is it that you want? Jesus. I thought you were over there at the Juggernaut talking for a bit. Fuck.
Oh, yeah, we finished talking, and we're not that far away. You're like, maybe like 2 paces away.
Also, you're very loud.
Yeah. I'm also sitting down still, in the same spot. Juggernaut is right across from me. You're like 2 paces away.
He like waves off with his like giant mechanical arm, and Kilroy looks at you. To be honest with you, you know what the fucked up part was? We were starting bets, and then the guy then took off his long sleeve shirt, and I'll tell you right now, people wanted a refund. They're cheating little shit over there.
That's not cheating, it's just having an advantage.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah. Coming from me, where I bet it on this guy. But the thing was, I didn't know the Juggernaut had fucking mechanical arms. That's like some fucking Comstar shit or something like that. It's like Starlink tech or something. I don't know.
I guess maybe. I've seen people in Terra who have arms like that, yes.
You know, I do have a question though. I wonder who's going to be working on those things because I'm assuming someone in the Space Pirates were doing it. The guy's not that much of a smart guy. He's a
You
fucking like a
said
peanut.
Dex was who did it, correct?
Ah, Dex. Yeah, I was reading up on the mission reports, you know, because they notify us mech pilots. Yeah, that Dex guy. He must have. What I read was he was able to operate the turrets from his mech alone. That's some intelligent shit there. He must have hardwired it himself. That's only inner sphere tech. We don't have any fancy shit like that.
That's true, but I can do the same thing if I'm close enough. He must have had a satellite or something akin to that.
Well, either way, you're here. You're over here now. What do you need?
The point is that the mech that you're talking about, if you're actually saying what I think you're saying, you either killed, stole, or won a mech from somebody fairly important in the Draconis Combine. Somebody within the royal family, probably.
Isn't how all mechs are given? You either win it by competition or you earn it.
Did you win it in a bet?
Aye, you could say that.
Ah, fair enough. I'll let you have your secret there.
And then I think to myself, you know, I probably hooked up explosives to mechs like that before.
Yeah, if anything, you probably would know exactly the spot to put a fucking C4, like a plastic explosive, just to blow the fucking hip off and just like sever it.
Does it look like he's thinking about blowing up that guy's mech?
Oh no. Well,
Do you look
Out of
like
my
you're
book,
contemplating committing war crimes?
no, I'm just like reminiscing.
Okay, alright. He's just got the 1,000-yard Vietnam flashback stare.
It's like the positive outlook of
We're
it.
not gonna blow up our own mechs. Combine or not. It's like, no.
Anyways, it's interesting to hear. I mean, the Draconis Combine is a place of notable interest for many people, as they both value and devalue their own honor by their own accords. Their weight of word is only as far as the weight of your ability to keep them in check, usually.
I agree to that. The dumb idiots will try to challenge you if you challenge them back, which to me is just dumb.
Oh yeah, I won't disagree with you there.
Either way, let's not pry too much on the past now, lads. We got alcohol here. Here to
Indeed.
drink, are we not?
Yeah, indeed. We're drinking, but we're having conversations too, because it is important to get to know one another. But I will leave you be for now and check on the members of the rest of the group here and see how they're enjoying the party.
Okay. Do you walk away from at this point?
Yeah, I'm gonna walk away from them and I'm going to look for Natalie Craston.
Oh, okay. So as you're walking away, Kilroy pulls you over, Richard, and he goes, "Oi, do you feel like you want to put something against that guy, like a sexual harassment form or something? He just sneaks around too much. He'd be good as an assassin, a Draconis assassin, if anything."
Well, if he was a Draconis assassin, I think we'd both be dead.
True to that, or he would be, as he starts laughing.
I just hear them chuckling behind me.
Yeah. Talking about taking out the assassin. That's the real thing. All right.
Yeah.
So actually,
I could use a new vibro katana.
The thing is,
The Fed comms didn't let me keep my last one.
Yeah, he's like, I mean, the thing is, though, you've taken out some Draconis in the past. Didn't you gain any prize from them?
It was all confiscated once I left the special forces. We had nice stuff.
Ah.
Like, you wanted energy weapons, you wanted like actual proper armor. We had it.
Well, too bad you couldn't. I bet you've taken a few panthers in your life, right?
Taken as in like for myself, or as in like
taking
I
it to
blew them up.
yourself. When you're behind enemy lines, you have to work with something, you know. If you have nothing.
Well, sure. We've commandeered enemy mechs and such before, but usually we were infiltrate, destroy, get out. That's mainly what we did.
All right. Well, in the future, I might let you pilot my mech as long as I don't get any fishy things about you.
You'll be
Did
getting
you know-
plenty of that.
Did you know that the client went up to me and asked me if the Juggernaut was able to drive my mech? I told him it'd be hard to drive if he's missing his mechanical fucking arms. I don't think Klein liked that, but you hired me. You didn't hire the mech, you know.
Yeah, and besides, you could just use the Jenner whenever that's ready.
Yeah, he laughs at that. He's like, "Oh yeah, I worked on that thing, you know. Yeah, that's a cute little toy. Tell me, what happened to the rest of the weapons on it? That thing came up with only a large laser, and I was just like, is this the whole thing?" I know you came back with what was it, the javelin, and I was like, look, it's some weapons. And I looked at the Jenner and went, you're missing some things on this little guy.
What weapons did we pull off the javelin?
So you actually did not pull enough from the javelin to even put on the Jenner, but I know. See, anything that was on the right torso, right arm. So there was nothing on the right arm, so you were able to salvage 2 medium lasers. That's it.
Could we take off the large laser and put 3 medium lasers since we have 3?
You might, but then you would have to decrease the armor rating on the mech.
Well, we would just be changing it to the D variant of the or attempting to change it nearly to the D variant of the Jenner.
Sure. That would cost, I think, like a day and a half, 2 days to change out the loadout. I'd have to double check, but it would take quite a while in order to change out the loadout of a mech. Because you have to reconfigure the systems, you have to recalibrate the weapon systems, you have to...
Yeah.
And like the cockpit is not even in the mech yet. That's the other problem too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's why I thought it might be a little bit easier while it's still mostly taken apart. We can just be like, all right, don't need this large laser in here. Let's strap in the 3 mediums, at least.
Yeah, let me double check on that. And I can let you know.
Because it'd basically be able to up its armor instead, and we'd go down one laser and one SRM.
I would have to check the heat sinks though, because if you guys don't have enough heat sinks for that medium lasers, then I'll check with the D variant. Let me check with the D variant, see if you can switch it out.
Because it has the same number of heat sinks.
Yeah, let me check out time, and then because you also salvage some heat sinks and a couple of things. The only things you are missing is so you actually salvage. Oh, nope, never mind. So yeah, you have 2 medium lasers and some heat sinks, but all the jump jets and the hips, the upper actuators, stuff like that, that all went to the Jenner. Not Jenner, Panther.
Mm-hmm. Because
Yeah.
the Jenner had everything else that it needed, aside from weapon loadout.
That's actually why I threw the Jenner in there. If you didn't notice, I threw mechs that were actually repairable by the Panther, just in case for that first encounter. But anyways, we'll get to that in a moment. So yeah, with that, you guys end a small conversation. Do you want to find one more NPC, and that'll be Natalie Craston?
Yeah, I was just gonna say hi to Natalie.
She is actually not around drinking.
She's
She is
not
one of the-
drinking, but is she around?
She is not, but you see the repair tech, so you could probably ask her where she is. Ask them where she is.
Can any of you, Jaden White, right?
Ah, yes, the guy who stole my security clearance.
I didn't mean to steal it. I was borrowing it. I've already deleted the files of that. It's fine, man.
Wait,
we work for the
you
same
didn't
person.
give it back? He just looks at you and goes,
I gave
You
you
know,
it
I
back
have
to you.
I have to get in touch with HR department. You know what? That's fine. What do you want?
I was just going to ask you, have you seen Lady Craston?
Ah, yeah, Lady Craston, she is actually working on the mechs. She called us a bunch of lazy whibs and said she wasn't going to drink.
Oh, well,
I think that was her exact words.
I was going to pay her a visit to see how she's doing. Still in the Bay, I imagine?
Yeah, she's working on the mechs. There's a lot of work that needs to be done, but in all honesty,
Where
we
did
want to
she
get a few
say
drinks
she
in.
was from? Do I remember where she said she was from?
No, you do not. She did not want to mention that. She did say she was a countess, but you don't know if her title was revoked, if she still has her title, or which house or which family she was from either.
Okay. I will grab the most generic of alcohol, but like the higher end alcohol that we have here. Whatever we collected.
Okay.
And I will bring her a drink.
Okay. So, as you're heading out to the mech bay, you see some lights going on because it's just in the eye's view of the intelligence operations building. Most likely that's where Leroy Colt, Desmond Font, and Klein Johnson is at. They're probably discussing the next battle plans for tomorrow.
Okay, so after I go see her, then I'll head over there and collect the rest of the team to go in for briefing.
A briefing will happen tomorrow after the drinking.
Okay, then I will go see her.
Okay, we'll make this one short just because it's actually getting around to that point.
Yep.
I didn't realize we were spending 2 hours. So you pop into the mech bay. You notice that the doors are all wide open as she has 2 what seems to be like space heaters around her, blowing an extreme amount of heat to kind of fend off the cold a bit. Thankfully, it's her. Like you see that her elegant royal coat is off to one of the benches, like the movable benches in the mech bay. As you see her just in her white beater, it's completely greased up with mech oil and everything like that, as she is attaching one of the as she's doing some final attachments for the Panther.
Okay. Hello there, Natalie. I'm not sneaking up on you. I'm standing far enough away that people will not insult me in any way, shape, or form.
I see. As she moves away, and why would there be any kind of Is there something you need to talk about? She's confused by that comment, but she is allowing it.
Sorry, a lot of accusations have been thrown around, so I am checking to see if anybody here is trying to set me up for something. I brought you a drink to warm you up, and maybe offer a hand since you have lazy cocks who are working in the dining hall.
Oh, I see. The alcohol will pass on, unfortunately. If you want to help me attach this hip to the panther, that'd be great. And whatever accusations, I will promise you, this is just what mercenaries do. And you should know that. If you've worked.
Absolutely. And I will begin to give her a hand.
Okay. She is attaching the hip and the upper leg actuator together as she is taking the remote to the mech refit harness and the crane as it's moving in place. She's just moving it slowly, keeping an eye up on the wires, making sure everything attaches just perfectly. There's no tanglement, no cords or wires being crushed, and she's trying to be very precise about it.
Awesome. So, Natalie, or Lady Creston, I should say.
Lady Creston to you.
You never mentioned where you were from, exactly.
I see. You like to pry?
I'd like to know who I work with, at least, to make sure I do not insult them and I purchase them the right kind of gifts when I do.
Well, if you must know, I used to work with the Steiners. Now I do not, as you see that I'm here.
A Steiner, I see. That's interesting to hear. We have more than one Lyran person here, then. I spent some time there, but I cannot say I call it home.
Just because I worked with a Steiner doesn't call me Lyrian. Just remember that for the future.
My bad, I didn't mean to offend. Like I said.
It's fine. She says that as in, like, you could tell that she's probably had some bad tidings with the Steiners or Lyrians before.
So she's probably FedCom then. Or she's
You do
Commonwealth.
Do not know yet.
So...
Well, quit the talking. Come on, help me attach this PPC. Somehow the repair techs wanted to disengage it from the body when moving the hips in, which...
that makes
maybe it got
no
in the way
sense.
when it makes...
Right? That makes no sense, right?
Are you proficient in electrical or mechanical? You will have to make
I
one
am
roll.
proficient in all.
Go ahead and either make me electrical or mechanical. She will take care of the other one.
That's double sixes. Oh. So 16. For
Was this
I'll do electrical.
Okay. So as you can see that she just easily puts the position of the mechanical weapon into play. Anything that has to do with the outer plating of it or anything, or with the platings of the arms to make sure nothing hinges together. She sees that you just magically put the electrical together, and you were just quicker than her, and you were just waiting for her to place it. And you can just have normal conversations with her while you're doing this. She's actually impressed. You impress her by doing this. Oh, maybe I need to hire a bunch of you, rather than my repair techs.
You'll be lucky if you ever find somebody with as much experience with mechs and working on them. I have seen every sort and been through enough of space within the inner spheres to have seen every type.
Ah, cocky are we? Well, at
Not
least you know how to
cocky,
do
just experienced, sadly.
So, why are you out here helping me with this mech rather than drinking?
Well, to be honest, the conversation started to get boring, and I thought that it would be best to come see some of our friends out here and check on how they're doing.
I would leave them. I'd leave the boys up there in the tower alone until tomorrow. I think they're more of covering plans. We got reports back from the one, back from some. As she like kind of cuts off, she's like, "Well, we have some information that might help for tomorrow's reports."
That's good to hear. I'll be interested to hear it when it comes out. But in the meantime, I guess I should say, it's this unit. What do you think of him?
Competent enough. I wish we could replace some, and I have my doubts about that Juggernaut fellow, but he's here now. That's the important part.
He's a capable fellow who needed to be, let's say, refocused into a new aspect into his life.
Okay. So, with that, you guys have normal conversation throughout the night.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything important that you want to ask her?
Um,
At this point, she's mostly focusing on trying to get the Panther together. She wants to have one mech ready for tomorrow if things go awry.
yeah. No, I'm basically gonna back off of trying to prod her any more than that.
Okay. So, with that, you two are going to keep working on the mech throughout the night, or are you done?
I will work with her until it's done.
Okay. You might feel exhausted the next day. Do you want to work until you feel exhausted and you're just going to go to bed, or do you want to work until it's actually done?
I will give her as much time as I can until I get to the point where I might feel exhausted, and then I'll call in the guys from the dining hall to finish up their work.
They will not help.
Can
They
I make
made
a
it-
leadership role to do it?
You could try, but you will be at a penalty because they have also been extremely drinking. You might not want
I
to have
will-
drunk working on the mech.
I will fucking try.
Okay. So go ahead and make me one leadership roll, and then we will get to the next day because we have a couple of minutes left.
That is only a 6.
They ignore your order.
I will finish helping her then.
Okay. Until you're exhausted? Like,
Until it's done.
until it's done? Okay. All right. So, with the next day comes up, with everything, so you guys wake up after some people have drank way too much and are feeling it, others not so much, and they're able to sober up because you guys are mercenaries. You guys are able to get your shit together, and on the intercoms of the base, you hear someone press a button, and it goes boom, bing, boom. This is your captain, who is no longer piloting anything right now, Callan Frost. We have a report that everyone needs to attend the operations building for a briefing for the next mission. Boom, bing, boom, and he cancels off.
Okay. I will report to the briefing room.
All right, so Ethan, you wake up, and you guys didn't finish until like almost 4 or 5 in the morning, but you got shit done. That Panther with her is intact and operational. You guys haven't ran through the weapon systems yet, like through standby and all that, but if it starts up just fine, most likely you guys have an extra mech for this battle.
All right.
The Jenner, unfortunately, hasn't been fully finished yet, as there has been new orders to maybe changing out the large laser. That will be done throughout the briefing.
Okay.
So you guys show up to the operations center, and you guys noticed these guys before, but you haven't really seen them at all much, except for the one time. You see Desmond Font, who is a character that seems to have some nerdy, thick glasses on. His hair parts in the middle on both sides. And then you also see Leo Colt, who is what seems to be wearing a fancy intelligence operations suit from the Comstar ages. You notice it immediately because it's what most intelligent operations for Comstar would wear. But the thing is, you notice it's a little aged and somewhat deteriorated. So maybe it's his old attire that he used to wear. Thankfully, he doesn't say anything about some religious bullshit, but as you guys come in, you see Klein Johnson and Drake Mikhails in the back as well. Well, good that you guys finally showed up. I let you have your little drinking last night to hopefully build morale. Unfortunately, some people are still trying to find that morale on the floor, but you're here now. So, we got a report from Calvin Frost, who's been flying around in the dropship around the asteroid, and we got some information. It seems to be that the bandit lance, or the space pirate lance that you guys fought, or almost fought, is actually making their ways around the mountain. The thing is, he's noticed some activity going on through some outposts that they've taken before. Now, this is important because it seems as though that the heavy lance is meeting up with this the extra forces, and it seems like they might be aiming for an attack. Before we could even figure out any other information, we had a Leopold ship, probably the space pirates, start firing upon our dropship. We left the system and it should be coming back soon, but unfortunately, when Calvin Frost brought it back, it was under repairs. So, it's here at the base. It needs to be repaired a bit due to the gunfire from the other enemy dropship, because our weapon system is still down on it. But we were able to outrun them. That's the important part. I guess that's the plus side with not having much tonnage on it, I guess. So, that's where you all are now. The thing is, we have 3 close outposts that we can take and be able to dwindle down their forces. The reason why I'm bringing this up is we have no defenses for our base. We have no turrets, we have no ammo, and we barely have the ground forces to be able to take any of it. The only thing we have is 2 light mechs and your mechs as well. And unfortunately, we only have 2 mech pilots. That being Juggernaut and being Kilroy. Now, both me and Drake here can pilot something if need be, but Drake was very specific, and he looks over at Drake, that he didn't want to interrupt the battle situation as much as he could. It's mostly because we don't cover his mech if it gets damaged. You know, that's his opinion, I suppose. So, that's why we're here. We're here because we have 3 options. And as he's talking about this, Norda, you're kind of like, not dozing off, but it's really hard to focus a little bit. And you feel like you're going to be feeling it in the next few battles if it comes down to it.
Okay.
Now, the plus side, we have a Panther, thanks to Norda here, that was able to actually operate it. So now we have 1 mech that's actually operational. We can leave the mech here for defensive purposes, or we can send Kilroy with the Panther with you guys. Your call. So, let me tell you about the 3 things that we can do. Out of one of the frozen rivers here, there is what seems to be a fuel depot. A couple of fuel lines going underneath the lake and throughout the land. Now, because due to the heat and through the exposure of the fuel and gas lines, it melted some of the snow, but those lakes are still intact. But I wouldn't be walking your mechs across that. So, here's what we can do. We can take the fuel depot, which has a couple of building supplies for our walls to make them stronger. That's one idea. The other idea is there's a mining outpost here, which might have some enemies inside the mining outpost, but you can easily walk through it with a mech. You know, because we had industrial mechs at one point. And with that, the plus side about that is it has explosives. Enough explosives to lay down for a trap. And then the final option is there is a old military outpost. I guess it was here before we came here. The space pirates took it before us, but they have a lot of but when I was looking through the equipment list, they have a lot of non-operational turrets. There's some on the outside that's operational, but it also looks like it has an aerospace depot. Now, I don't know if there's going to be any fighters in that, nor do we have the runway for it, but maybe there's some extra supplies or extra weapons in that. So, here's the option. We can hit every single one of them in almost 2 days, or we can do it 1 mission every day. Downside is those space pirates will be here on the 3rd day. After they gather all their forces, we got a time estimate that they'll be here in 3 days total. What would you guys like to do? You got the fuel depot, which has building supplies and maybe some extra fuel. You got the mining outpost, which has explosives, and maybe we can find 1 or 2 industrial mechs. And then you have the old military outpost, which has a aerospace runway. And that's going to have
And the
turrets.
turrets. Well, for sure we want to hit the turrets.
Yeah.
It's probably priority 1, so we can actually have defenses.
Now, I'm going to mention this. We could hit all 3, but I'll let you know right now. When we get back from the 3rd one, we can't do anything with the supplies. The only point of it is to be dwindling down their forces. So realistically, 2 will be... You have to decide upon 2 of them.
Yeah.
How much information do we have on recon as to what is available at these bases? Do we have any logistical or manifests that we have been able to access?
None at all, not for right now. We would have to get closer in onto the operation to be able to get it. Any files that were there, the space pirates either deleted or got rid of, or they altered or changed it. The issue is we can't access that kind of stuff, at least not with the equipment we have here.
Understood.
So we're running in blind. We don't even know what forces that they have there, to be honest.
Understood.
I could tell you what's coming with the forces, though, with the aerospace picked up. When we had our Union-class dropship run around, we were able to pick up some units, and I'll tell you, it's not pretty.
Well, give me the report then.
We got 2 Sabres. We don't know what loadouts, but they're coming in. We have 1 VTOL. We have 5. It's around 3 or 5 Pegasus scout tanks. And, well, Pegasus hover tanks. And then with the normal forces that you saw before. The Jaeger mech, the Warhammer, the Shadowhawk, the Locust.
A heavy lance.
Yep, and that heavy lance. And that's all we were able to pick up for right now.
Wait, how many VTOLs and what was the first one?
So
2 Sabres, light aerospace.
So 2 Sabres are aerospace fighters. So it's 2 aerospace fighters. 1 VTOL. He didn't tell you which one because he didn't know off of the report. It was between 3 to 5 Pegasus hover tanks. Hover tanks are useful because they can go over most terrain. And then it was a Jaeger mech, a Warhammer, a Shadowhawk, a Locust, and the Assassin mech.
So the heavy striker lance is the thing that's going to be the most concerning. We need to be able to whittle the forces around them with little to no engagement.
Well, the plus side is maybe we can attack some of these pirate forces and get you guys some medium lances, or medium mechs. I don't have access to grab any, nor do we have the time for it. So, you better hope what you can find at these outposts and what they have, you guys can salvage. That's all I gotta say.
The military base will be the most useful for being able to set up defenses. If we can run a partial team to be able to collect the turrets and the Sabres, we don't really have a runway to run the Sabres though, do we?
We don't even know if the Sabres are going to be at the aerospace one, because it seems to be that the space pirates have an outpost somewhere around this asteroid. The problem is we haven't been able to locate it yet. We've only been able to know that they have a couple of outposts that they took that we had. So somewhere around there, there's a space pirate hideout, and I don't know where that is. We could theoretically send your guys' team out there to try to find it, but thing is, if we can't find it, we just waste time.
So what you're saying is the 3 locations that we could loot that are nearby are the military base with the turrets, the mining operation, which possibly has explosives, and then what was the last?
It will have explosives and probably a mech or 2.
Industrial mechs.
Yeah, industrial. Well, we don't know if it's industrial mechs or light mechs, but most likely, guarantee there's industrial mechs. But other than that, he doesn't know about the rest.
And what was the last one?
A fuel depot, which would be able to build your walls and grab any kind of fuel or supplies to fill up any vehicles and or change out. So the short version is the fuel depot. If you guys have
it's a
your
supply
engines,
base.
it's a supply base for your mechs and vehicles. So if any engines or anything blow up, that's where you're most likely going to find replacements for.
I would highly suggest then that we focus on the military base first and then the fuel depot. And
Okay.
run them in tandem to collecting as much supplies as we can. Then come back, set up defenses and turrets, and refuel everything that we can. And get ready to dig in.
Okay. So Robert, what's your opinion?
So yeah, for sure we want to hit the military base first so we can get those turrets and things. And then it's kind of a toss up if we want, I guess it depends. Like, do we want the fuel and building supplies or do we want the explosives? Probably explosives will probably be more
Lethal?
efficient, minefields and whatnot.
I mean, I guess the only problem is if we opt for defensive measures, such as mines, explosives, things like that, and they're ineffective per se, our tanks won't trigger mines. And obviously aircraft will be a problem. But the mechs are the only thing that are possibly damaged by that. And potentially that would only be a temporary block. If they see the explosives, they could just lay down fire until they blow them all up.
Well, the plus side is I don't think the mechs are going to be rolling in first. Maybe they'll have vehicles like striker tanks or...
The tanks will probably be the first to arrive, then the aerospace assets would come in on top of them, and then the mech lance would follow up behind.
Yeah.
Most likely the situation.
So, you guys don't have to make a full decision now, but it's just description on what what you guys can take. I will put a full information on what you can attain and what's the options in the Battletech information Discord. But yeah, so in short, it's you get the military outpost is probably going to be your best bet in terms of grabbing more vehicles and probably more weaponry. The mining is probably going to be possibly vehicles and definitely explosives. And then the last option is going to be more of like supplies for your mechs and vehicles and for building supplies for the base.
I would think being able to fortify ourselves in the base and have resources to be able to repair our machines while we have a holdout match with them. If we have the resources to hold out against them, and they have to keep coming up against walls and defenses, we'll have the advantage. They'll be sieging. We'll be
he
defending.
does mention a final option. He mentions that you guys can meet the heavy lance and fight them. Instead of fighting anything else, you guys can just straight up outright fight the heavy lance.
Meet them head on.
I'm not sure how fighting in the mountains will work for us.
Yeah, so that's the thing. So right now they're going through the mountains to try to get to you guys. You guys could actually meet up with them halfway and scrap all, like you won't have to worry about the final outpost battle. You could just straight up fight the heavy lance, but it would have to be now.
Which would mean that we would be down at Jenner. So.
Not only that, but he does mention that you guys would have an option to use the Griffin mech. But in short, this is what the short version is. You guys would have the tank, you would have the Griffin mech, you would have the Panther, and you would have all your light mechs.
Mm-hmm. I could put the Juggernaut in the Firebee.
You could, and he does mention that. So that's the other thing. You can use all of your weaponry and stuff right now and just go for them. But the thing is, you don't know what terrain, and he does explain that it is going to be mountain terrain. So the vehicle, the tank, is not going to have a chance to be able to get a clean shot.
That would probably be a good idea to be able to block off the pass then. They try to exit through the pass, he would be the block off point. Wherever the mountain pass opens up. We could set an ambush potentially there. have
Well-
all of our jumpable mechs be on the mountainsides, jump down into the valley, and start cutting them the ribbons, while the tank sits on the outer part of the pass as they try to run through and just picks at them.
Well, that's the other thing, but you also have to realize one final thing. Whatever you use for that mission, you don't have anything here. So if we get an attack, we have nothing to defend ourselves and we're all dead.
Good point.
But that's an option. I don't know if they're going to attack, when they're going to attack, but this is
So
this is why I said you have to attack the heavy lance now if you want to. If not, you have to build up the defenses and hope we survive the final battle.
if we could, it sounds like a better option to grab both sets of defenses, be prepared for their incoming, and be able to advance and strike on them, because we'll have more mechs, more machinery, more equipment, more ability to survive. Doesn't seem like a bad idea.
Okay. And he agrees with that. So, talk amongst the players. Figure out what you guys want to do. I'll put the Battletech information,
Yeah.
description, and everything else.
I think what we'll do is we'll just discuss it in Discord, and
Yeah, we'll discuss it in Discord, and then by the time you guys come back,
we can
I
role
should
play
have a
out
map.
what this decision becomes.
Yeah, because I need to mess with the two maps, and also I need to know what mechs and what vehicles you guys are taking for the battle. So, are you guys taking the Panther with Kilroy or no?
Are we gonna utilize them?
You can't if you bring them, you guys get to use them.
I mean, like, we're gonna utilize every asset we have. So I would say we're gonna put, Headmaster in his Griffin. We're gonna put Kilroy in his Panther. I'll throw.
The Griffin is staying. So if you guys go for the heavy lance, the Griffin will come if he needs to. But if you guys are attacking the outpost, the Griffin's staying because you guys have no defenses if he goes.
Yeah, no, like, we're gonna leave those two behind and have just our lance go out to get the outpost.
Oh, okay. So the Panther and Griffin are staying. So you're not taking the Panther.
Yeah, the Panther would stay, and if need be, I would have. You know what? I'd have Juggernaut get in the Fire Bee and come with us.
Okay. Do you want to do that?
I think that's a good idea. What do you think?
I mean, he's
I mean, that's
dispendable.
fine.
Fuck it, sure. Like, yeah.
He wants to
I
be
mean,
in a
your mech's
mech.
not very dispensable, but okay, yeah.
No,
It's a walking bomb if he gets hit.
He's a 3-5 pilot, so he has 3 gunnery, 5 piloting.
That's fine.
So in layman's terms,
He's
it's
a
the
good
reverse.
shot at least then.
No. Sorry, it's a switch. It's a switch. He's good at piloting. So on his character sheet, he's a 3-5 out of the TN number 8. So that would be 5-3.
Yeah, 5-3.
Yeah, so he's a 5-3. So he's really good at piloting. So he's good in melee mechs and jump jetting.
Okay, that's good. That's kind of what the Fire Bee is, because it's a short range missile mech.
Okay. So
I mean,
he'll use your
it has
pilot.
it has 1 medium laser and 5 SRMs, 5 SRM2s. So
4 SRM2s.
or 4 SRM2s.
And it has a large laser, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll use the mech then, as long as you give him permission. And you guys don't have to make any leadership roles because he seems pretty trusted with you guys now.
We bonded with him. We beat him in an arm wrestling competition.
Nice.
Yeah, that was actually the main. So that was the whole point of the arm wrestling competition. Is if you guys, depending on how many times you guys beat him and who beat him, it would boost morale on if you had to roll leadership or not. So since you guys both won, you don't have to earn any more. You don't have to make a roll for leadership unless it's something really extreme.
Like asking him to commit suicide kind of thing.
Along those lines. Like, so for
Well,
an example,
not
if you tell him to kill the head honcho of the space pirates, you have to make him make a roll.
Oh, okay. So he'll fight the normal guys, but he probably won't kill Dex.
He won't kill Dex and he won't kill One-Eye Jack.
Okay. He's scared of that.
Which is so it's funny because he actually tells you more about that. So it's not One-Eye Jack. It's actually One-Eye Jacqueline.
Oh.
So I don't know if that interested you in you guys, but yes. So
Okay.
technically, here, let me actually find the actual.
No, it's probably more of an
buttons.
interest to Frank.
So yeah, it's more of interest to
There
Frank.
you
So he tells you the One-Eye Jack imposter. She did earn the name One-Eye Jack, but her name is Jacqueline Blossoms.
Jacqueline Blossoms. Okay.
Okay.
And when you see her mech, which was on the Warhammer, it was a rose that was like blossoming out with a skull and an eye patch on it.
Gotcha.
In quotations, Jack.
All right. Then I think we kind of have an idea. We'll discuss it in the Discord with everybody else about battle plans.
Yeah.
And we're gonna kind of rock and roll from there.
All right, so Ethan, I need to tell you how the Juggernaut runs as a character. And by the way, he has one edge left.
Okay, that's fine.
He spent his one edge to try to prove a point.
Did we get any edge from finishing that thing?
The beer thing? No, hell no.
Okay.
What?
It was
No,
such a great character bonding moment. I thought maybe we'd get some edge. Did we get any XP?
No, you get the one edge. So right now, at this point in time, you guys get that one edge from the mech / saving the people infantry combat. So if you guys wasted any edge, get your 1 point now, and then spend 20 EXP for each point of edge to go back to your normal amount.
Okay. What do we get any XP so far other than what we got previously, I think?
I will put that in the Battletech information. It's only going to be like 12 EXP, or it's going to be under like a small amount.
Okay.
Because remember,
I don't get like 100 EXP for defeating Juggernaut in the arm wrestling contest.
No. So because you guys already put down the amount of EXP you guys got from the mech and infantry combat, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so the next EXP you will get will be for fixing the Panther and for beating Juggernaut twice.
Cool.
So the plus side, you have the Panther back at base. Oh, and you have to spend an hour to link up the Juggernaut to your mech.
Yeah. No, that's no problem.
All right, so with that,
Yeah,
that's
and how are we coordinating, like, I guess people to come pick up the shit that we find? How's that gonna work?
So you guys came back with a half a loader. So that was the thank you for bringing that up, because I was actually gonna mention that, but you're bringing it up now, so it gives you guys some ideas. So you will want to take the half loader with you. These outposts are close, but the less time to possible. So what you guys can do is you have the half loader off the map and just disguise it, put in some woods, power it down, and leave the whoever isn't pilot like sitting in it. And then if you guys need a bolt, you need a bolt. Because remember, when you guys transverse through different territories, you guys move at Frank's speed anyways.
Yeah, so
and I need to know what tank he's going to be using for this combat.
We'd probably put him in the Brutus, then it's a little bit faster.
Okay. So the downside to this map, so I'll tell you right now, the only two maps that are open, actually, correction, there's only one map that's open area.
It's the military base. Oh, it's the fuel depot. Oh.
The military base has a lot of mountains around it, and the mining one has a lot of mountains until you get to the entrance.
Okay. Fair enough. All right. I think that'll get us good.
Yep. And that's all I want to do for roleplay. So now you just guys are going to be doing combat probably for like a good portion of your life now.
All right. Sounds like a plan. We'll put together our report in Discord and see what we want to do. We'll message you about anything, or we'll like tag you if there's anything that we have questions of.
Yep.
But hopefully this was an enjoyable episode for anybody who liked our roleplay of stupid shit. And y'all have a good night.
I am still
Bye-bye.
surprised